Okay, so Captain Marvel is out. A lot of people went to go see it. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people not so much. A lot of people are in the middle. In fact, more are in the middle than not. But that's not the whole point of this video. The whole point of this video is to give an update on the ALITA challenge. So if you weren't following the controversy surrounding Captain Marvel and the culture war, you are lucky. it was bad in my opinion. It was worse than Ghostbusters in my opinion, because I think people were just amped up looking for a fight. And man, they got it in a lot of fronts. But one of the things that came out of that was the ALITA challenge. The ALITA challenge was put forward, the first I saw, by a conservative commentator by the name of Jack Posobiec, who wanted people to go and give their money to ALITA Battle Angel rather than giving it to Captain Marvel on Friday, March 8th, in order to hurt the Captain Marvel opening weekend box office totals. That ultimately I don't think worked as well as they wanted it to, simply because the movie is tracking for a $160 million opening weekend, which is the seventh highest in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's long line of 21 movies at this point. So the movie has done very, very, very well. But that doesn't mean that ALITA did not get a bit of a bump. In fact, taking a look here at the boxoffice.com estimates from yesterday, we can see here that the movie pulled in $800,000 yesterday in box office. And you have to understand about this too. That's actually pretty significant, by the way. I do want that to be known. That's pretty damn significant. The Captain Marvel was playing in 4,317 theaters, many of whom cut out ALITA to make room for Captain Marvel. This is now the movie with the highest amount of theaters screening it ever. 3 years ago, when Batman v Superman came out, Warner Brothers put it in 4,200 some odd theaters, and this one beat it by over 100. Just to give you an idea of how many movie theaters are playing this movie domestically and how many people don't really have a lot of other choices because Disney has really stacked the deck in order to get that $160 million opening weekend. So when it sits there and it gives you $800,000 for a Friday estimate, that's actually not bad at all. But let's take a look here just to make it a little bit better. Take a look here at Thursday, $439,000 is what it brought home on Thursday night. And this was during the Captain Marvel, preview night, where there were $20 million that was earned for the Captain Marvel movies. Again, they were stacking the theaters. My personal theater that I saw Captain Marvel at was running 16 showings of Captain Marvel from 7 p.m. until I think midnight that night. 16 screenings. It was in many, many, many auditoriums, and a lot of other movies were cut out, and they were expecting a hell of a rush. I'm not too sure how busy it was. My theater wasn't very busy. It wasn't sold out by any stretch of the imagination, and I saw about 11 p.m. showing that night, so it is what it is. But $439,000 is really kind of okay for when, again, the deck is stacked against ALITA, and coming in on a day where a movie makes $60 million or $63 million, it pulling in nearly $1 million is still fascinating and actually quite good. What I would argue, though, as being one of the weirdest things is this one right here. And this was from Tuesday. This is Tuesday's numbers, where ALITA made $983,000 on Tuesday of this week. How? Like 983,000 on Tuesday. Now, here's my theory for that one. My theory for that has everything to do with the fact that it was like the cheap movie Tuesdays or discount movie Tuesdays, where the movies themselves are half off. I saw ALITA on Tuesday night in 3D. What is normally like a $14 ticket, I got for $9. But then again, I have the Cinemark app, so I didn't pay anything for the ticket because I had a rollover credit. So I saw it for free technically, or I'd already paid for it, so $9. Same with Captain Marvel. I'd already paid my $9, so it was fine. But a lot of people went to go see it that night. That's actually a significant number right there. If those are discounted ticket nights across many major theater chains, that's actually pretty good. Because taking a look here, just last Friday for ALITA Battle Angel, it grossed 1.7 million. So it grossed 1.7 million again. And, that was last week when nothing else was really going up against it. But then again, coming here, and it halved that the week later. That's not bad. I'm sorry. I don't think that's bad at all. I don't think that's very bad. I think that's pretty good. I'm not a box office expert and whatever, but like I've worked in theaters long enough to kind of see the bumps where I see them. So look, ALITA Battle Angel in regards to the challenge didn't dethrone Captain Marvel. And I don't think it was ever meant to. There's no feasible, logical, reasonable way that it was ever going to dethrone Captain Marvel. Not at all. But it was meant to send a message. And I think send a message it did. People did, in fact, go out yesterday and go and see Captain Marvel or go and see Alita Battle Angel. And it wasn't because Captain Marvel was sold out and this was their only option. Because when Disney puts it in that many theaters, you are guaranteed to find a showing every 30 minutes, pretty much. So there's no reason why people couldn't just hang out for 30 minutes and then go see it. The 800,000 that Alita grossed yesterday is definitely as a result of the Alita Challenge. A lot of people went to go see it. And here's the thing. I'm glad they did. I support the Alita Challenge. I think the movie is amazing. I loved it far more than Captain Marvel. I want to go see it again. Whereas Captain Marvel is like, if it's 2 p.m. on a Saturday and it's on TV, I might check it out, or just check it out because I really like Ben Mendelsohn in the movie. He was great. And Sam Jackson was great. And the elements of the movie I liked, I would rewatch, but Brie Larson, not so much. Whereas Alita, totally different. It was a totally different thing. And I just really, really, really enjoyed it, really enjoyed the world building, and I want to support the movie where I can. So look, it may not have been a total victory, but it definitely was a win. I would chalk it up as a win. More people, I think, went and saw Alita multiple times as a way to drive awareness to the film, to get people to go and see it, and to get people to actually act. And when I talked about the Alita Challenge the other day, and I referenced Dread from 2012, where you had the journalists, movie journos, actively begging people to go and see Dread in its second weekend because the opening weekend numbers were so low and it didn't work. This is the exact opposite of that. You had people legitimately putting their hearts out there saying, go see Alita. It's a good movie. Go bring your friends to go see it. And people did. People did. And there was never going to be a full way to value the metrics of success. But when it's up against the 21st movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and it pulls in nearly $1 million, half of what it made the week before on that same day, and even over the course of the week, had gone up a couple more $1 million, that's a sign of people going and seeing Alita. So I would count that as a win. If you tweeted about it, if you talked about it with your friends, if you went to go see it, pat yourself on the back. You did a good job. And to all the journalists out there that were deriding people, that were actively trying to promote this film, actively trying to get people to go see it because it's a good movie, not because of just some culture war aspect of it, you guys suck. You guys truly suck, because all you're doing is mocking your viewers on Twitter and other forms of social media because they didn't jump in the Disney line, and you're trying to virtue signal for a movie that was going to gross $100+ million anyway. And you just want to do this because you want to maintain your access media. The problem I have with movie journalists is because I feel they don't do enough to actively push movies that the average person would like. It's either push an independent movie that no one's going to see anyway, or they're going to shill for a huge big budget movie without giving it a little bit of attention to the smaller films that may get lost in the shuffle. And look, Alita did well overseas. It's probably not going to cross $400 million worldwide. But when the movie comes out on home video here pretty soon, pick it up and buy a copy for your friend while you're at it. They'll thank you later. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about it. Write it below.